Okra has been a very reliable plant for us. It has produced lots of pods for us to eat, and we've really enjoyed eating it. So let me show you some of the journey we've been on through this last summer period. Join me as I show you some of the okra we have grown and some of the learnings and observations I've made this year as I grew okra. I have lots of caterpillars on the okra. Thankfully, they don't seem to be eating the fruit, just the leaves. I have one burgundy okra plant. It started to flower. They've been like that for about a week actually. It's a little bit curious. I'm wondering if it's a little bit thirsty. I don't know. So these are my green okra plants. They're producing nicely at the moment. I picked okra 2 days ago. I skipped one morning. And you might notice it's got quite a lot of fruit on it. Quite a large number of pods. The other thing I'm noticing is that there are fewer caterpillars than there were last time I was here. The caterpillars seem to love okra leaves. I'm very grateful that none of them have touched the pods that I've seen yet. They look to me like lawn grubs, which is curious. Planted some lettuce seeds around the base of this okra, so I started watering it rather than expecting it to stroke by itself. Interesting result is that the burgundy okra has decided it'll grow now. Funny how water helps things grow. You can see the pods that were just tiny little things 2 days ago are now significant. And there's enough on the bush for the whole family to have a meal, as well as me to have some extras with my eggs this morning. And I've discovered a little bit of chilli goes really nice with okra. So there's my harvest from this one bush. And you can still see there's a lot here that'll be ready tomorrow, possibly too big the next day. When they get too old, they go woody and stringy. They're too fibrous to be pleasant. So this morning's harvest of okra is 905 grams. I checked the calendar. The last harvest was on Sunday and it was 780 grams. So that's 3 days later. I got another really good harvest. Burgundy okra was slow to take off and it had flowers on it for a while before the flowers became fruit. It's got lots of flowers on them. It's got a beautiful flower actually. Stunning flower. Well, there are beetles in there. I've harvested my okra for the morning. Still plenty on there that'll be big enough to pick tomorrow morning. There's my harvest. I'll weigh that up later. And one last chilli for my breakfast this morning. Once again, a lovely flower. Actually, I haven't paid attention to see if the flower's any different. Lots of beetles. I haven't seen many bees on my okra flowers, but lots of beetles. Very similar flower to the burgundy one. I've already picked this morning. I'll pick some more tomorrow morning. Lovely crop on that. I'm getting 2 kilos of okra every week from these 3 plants. Okay, seems like it's end of season for my okra. I've been picking these green okra for quite some time. They were sorely attacked by insects. I actually think it was the Crotalaria moth caterpillar because the Crotalaria moth came for all my Crotalaria cover crop seed. I think a lot of them liked my okra. So they came and ate the leaves. So all the bottom leaves were severely eaten out very quickly. The leaves that grew from here at the top half were very thin, not at all like the thicker ones that originally were at the bottom. I mean, you can see where the leaves were, they've all cracked off. I don't know whether that's something that just happens with okra, that the first leaves are huge in comparison with the later leaves, but all the leaves that are coming at the moment, they're quite small. So this okra is now over 2 metres. I've had okra in the past that would keep going until I couldn't reach the top of the bush, and then I'd snip it and it'd sprout at the sides down the bottom. I'm leaving this one on the bush to harvest seed. But you can see that it's end of season. What's it now? The 13th of March. They're pretty much done. The cooler weather suddenly arrived on the last day of February, and with that 2-degree change at day and night temperatures, it's the end of season. I have over here a burgundy okra. It seems to be growing differently. Now it has the larger leaves at the bottom. This leaf is smaller than the largest leaf, which snapped off. But the top leaves are smaller, significantly smaller than the lower leaves. Here's one I'm letting grow to seed. It's already well taller than my hand. That'll be a good seed one. This okra, looks like that one was broken overnight by some bird or something. This okra looks like it's nearly finished, but it's still producing. But this one I am saving for seed. Now, okra is a warm season vegetable, and my green okra is long done. But my burgundy okra continues to produce. I've already picked 3 pods this morning, and they're a decent size. But there's still some life in the bush yet. So you can see it's got some more flowers coming here. Another pod there developing, more pods there. I think burgundy okra was the first okra I ever grew, and I was always happy with how it produced. And this one continues to produce even though it is middle of May. So it's done very well. Its leaves are looking like they've had some insect attack. Maybe these are going a bit mouldy. The plant is coming to its end. However, it has given me produce for a whole month longer than the green okra plants I had planted here. The green okra plants didn't handle the onset of autumn, and they died very quickly. I believe my records show I picked the last time in April. It was not attacked by the Crotalaria moth at all. I wonder if that could have been because I planted a little bit later than the green. I've also noticed the green okra produces more heavily. I have 3 bushes there to 1 burgundy bush, and I have been getting between 5 and 10 times the amount of produce from the green that I've been harvesting from the burgundy. So I think that green is a far heavier producer. As the pods get older, they become very stringy, and when they're young, they're soft. It's very much a more pleasant flavour and texture. I have noticed that the burgundy okra has to be picked smaller or it will go stringy. Whereas the green okra, you can pick it longer, so you can leave it on the bush for longer. Not much longer, but it is something I've definitely noticed. The burgundy okra has a larger diameter for the same length, and I've discovered that 3 green bushes is enough to eat, to save, and to give. Next season, I'd like to experiment in that I will plant both green and burgundy okra at the beginning of the season and in the middle of the season, and see which one actually produces the best at which time of year.